Okay, today we're going to talk a little bit about left thumb. I've done this in previous video, but this is a great little drill. I think we all struggle with lag. 99.9% of pros that swing the golf club have what we call lag in their golf swing. Lag is the angle between, if you like, let's say your forearm and the shaft. Now, I would say 99.9% of amateurs that don't hit it very far lose that lag very early. They lose that position, and we've mentioned this again in previous lessons where you kind of rock back and across and helping it up. So one of the things I was doing the other day, there's two ways of doing this, and we've talked about it a bit in the past. One is to hold the club here, but the way I found, which I really quite liked, and it's a little bit different, is you're going to grab your left thumb. So we're just going to stick it out, and we're going to give it a thumbs up in the backswing. And obviously, shoulder across, weight holding here. And if I just grab my left thumb and I'm going to pull it towards me, you can almost see it's going to start to bend my arm. I'm going to feel a little bit of that. Now, if I now pull my belt buckle back the other way, but I'm keeping, if you like, my right hand pulling my thumb towards me, can you see how much pressure now gets, and you can hear in my voice, created here? Now, if I push my thumb that way, can you see immediately I can get back to impact, but suddenly I've got no pressure. I'm leaning almost back onto my right side and opening up here. So if I've got my thumb here and I'm now going to pull it with the little finger, let's say, or the couple of fingers here, if I keep pulling that towards, let's say, my head, but I'm holding with my bottom half and pulling this way, can you see how we're creating that natural, let's say, lag, where this is creating the lag against that? And as I say, all good pros, 100%, 99.999% of pros do that. So they have this lovely width in their backswing, obviously, which some of us don't have, but then they keep this pressure. So the last thing to always move is the club head as they start down. Hand starts moving down, arm starts moving down, hips start moving down. But what that's doing is creating, let's grab 7-iron, more pressure in the downswing. So if I were to do that there, and can you see if I were to pull the club head now towards me, if I'm pulling that club head now towards me, but turning my hips, look at the angle and the pressure I've got here in that to fire. If I was to get to the top and push the club away from me, so push the club head that way again, can you see how suddenly lost all that angle, there's no lag, and we get into what I'd probably call, oh, that's quite hard work, what I'd probably call a little bit of almost casty, we call it throwy, but I'd almost say it becomes pendulumy. So you kind of get to the top here, good player will pull the club almost a little towards them there and create that separation and lag, these are all terms that we like, and fire it. What I tend to see with some of you amateurs, we get the opposite, and you'll find here, again, if I go this way and almost just pull my thumb this way, you can see how this is creating some pressure here as my body's going the other way. Now, if I do that with a club, you'll see, nice backswing, pull the club this way, you can see that pressure and the club shallows into a kind of flatter inside plane. If I was to go to the top now and just push the shaft at you guys, here, and girls, all inclusive, we can see how suddenly I'm going to tend to hit behind it. And more importantly, my weight's coming backward. And that's something we don't want to do. And that creates what I call that pendulumy feeling. Just put E on the end of any word, it makes it technical. So as I get to here, if I now push that club the wrong way, now I've almost got a straight line between shaft and club. And now it's a question of how pendulumy can I do through impact? And that's quite hard to do. Yet if I've got this angle and this pressure, this pulley of the thumb towards me, that gives me that power to fire. It's also just, I think, plays a little bit into, for me, that longer thumb in the backswing there versus the smaller thumb. Again, I feel like it makes it harder to create that lag. I have heard and people tell me that they like shorter thumb, and that's each to their own. But my logic would be, I want that nice thumb there to create that kind of pulley lag to fire down. Hope that makes sense. Poor little thumb's going to go and have a little rest. Old Tom thumb.